Hello, everyone. My name is Dana, and I am coming to you on behalf of Corey's Corner Grief and Support Group, sponsored by Wisdom Crossing. And tonight, I'm going to be talking to you all about drowning in grief. D.I.G. Drowning in Grief, Dig It Out. So I did this presentation. Shout out to Shantae Jones, founder of Shiro's Grief Journey. They asked me to come to do a small, not even a small, to do a presentation. And we going to put aside to do a presentation. And we had some technical difficulties. And so I went on and provided the experience with them. We actually were able to kind of co-create later on, and as a result, I asked, now can I present it to everyone else? Because this is, I think, good information that we can all benefit from. So let's get into it. 2020, times that no one saw coming. I said this before in terms of like everyone thought that it was like, 2020 vision and, a difference between vision and sight. And we were all, excited about a new decade that we were embarking. And no one could have ever imagined that we would be in this social distancing worldwide. But we are here. And so, one of the things that I want everyone to kind of like take notice of is what are you grieving at this particular time? During this time of loss, what are you grieving? Is it your routines, your finances, your employment, education, socializing, intimacy, health, life and death, travel, safety, security, technology, having physical activity, missing going to the gym, your housing, your investment? What are the things that you find yourself grieving over at this particular time due to COVID-19 and the loss that everyone is feeling, right? I said this in one of my other presentations that I did last night. The difference between bereavement, grief, and mourning, right? So bereavement is the state of having suffered a loss, and then mourning is what we do to actually express that loss, right? And that's funerals, that's wakes, that's memorial services. Those are events of mourning. But grief goes through that full continuum of bereavement, of mourning. It's this whole continuum of grief that we experience. And it has been extended because of COVID-19. There are individuals that had to wait to bury their loved ones, right? And then we have this anticipation of another recurrence of COVID-19 come the fall, and going through that kind of like sense of longing of bereavement that we find ourselves in. And then the question that I want everyone to take the time out right now is to answer is what goals or dreams were connected to your loss? What goals and dreams were connected to your loss? I've been doing this and I probably will do this every time I can to just congratulate the class of 2020. If you are graduating eighth grader, if you are graduating senior from high school, if you are graduating from higher education in terms of undergrad degrees, master's degrees, moving up ceremonies, to all those individuals who do not have the ability to have that experience, that is an evidence of like where we are, right? No one would think that there would be a group of individuals that would not be able to walk across the stage and get the diplomas and have people yelling and screaming their names and throwing up, caps and, there were dreams that we all had for 2020. And what was yours? What was your dream? What was your goal? And the one thing that you can do to shift from this place of having a dream attached to a loss is accepting the reality of that loss. The thing about grief is that grief is not a head thing. You cannot think your way out of it. You can't, rationalize your way out of it. You have to sit with it inside your heart. And you have to emotionally do the work. It is May, and it is Mental Health Awareness Month. And grief is not a mental health issue, but it can lead to a mental health issue. It can lead to depression. It can lead to suicidal thoughts. It can lead to post-traumatic stress. And so if we don't take the time to heal ourselves and figure out what are the things that we're grieving, what were some dreams and goals that were attached to that, sit with it, cry, yell, scream, however, talk it out, that is going to be important. And I'll continue to say this. If you are experiencing grief and loss, what you want to do is you want to seek out caring individuals. Find your support system. Know that the first person you call may not answer. The second person you call may not answer. That third person might be the one that picks up the phone. So keep trying. Don't get devastated when the first person doesn't pick up. Keep going until that support system is found from an individual. Also, take care of your health. Time to sleep, time to eat, time to get out of your space and get some fresh air and walk around, being safe while doing it. Be patient with yourself, please, because healing, it takes time, and you heal at your own pace. There is not a secret formula or a way to help individuals progress in terms of kind of like a doctor's orders. That is not how grief works. And if all those things don't work for you, please seek out professional help. So, drowning in grief, dig it out. Accept that there has to be a new reality. Everyone is talking about like a new normal, and I don't know what new normal means, but I know what new means. And we have to find new routines, new ways of getting into education, new ways to find out what intimacy looks like, new ways to understand what housing and investing looks like. And people have been creative. People have been doing different type of birthday parades. People have been doing, what else have I seen? Zoom calls. That has been like another big thing, the Zoom calls and the parades. And I love how local police and local fire departments are actually coming out and supporting, and to kind of make this seem once again that this is about a community experience. So, dig it out. Right now, there's the ability that there have been some things that have been piled up, right? In terms of not being able to work, right? Which kind of goes into your finances, which gets wrapped into some other people's identity and who they are. And so sometimes, especially now in this kind of like COVID pandemic season, there are things that are piled up within us. And I am going to ask that you begin to dig some of those things out, right? If you could close your eyes or keep them open and just listen as I just want you to kind of go to a place of being in a cemetery. And it can be the loved one that you lost in COVID-19 or someone else before COVID-19, but go to that grave site. And there might be a tombstone there, and there might not be. But what's important when you're in the cemetery and you're in front of this burial site is that the question I want to ask you is, was there any part of you that got buried with that individual when they transitioned? When you went to the gravesite, or maybe you didn't go to the gravesite, But in this moment, as you kind of allow your mind to go there, what part of you was also buried? What did you lose? And for some of us, we have to dig a little bit deeper because some graves are shallow and some graves are deep. And some of us have to keep digging until we land on what it is that we lost. Did we lose our characteristic of being joyful? Did we lose our ability to love? Did we lose our self-esteem? Did we lose our mind, our sanity? Did we lose our hopes and our dreams? I want you to really think about, what is it that you lost? What is it that was buried deep that you haven't been able to restore? I want to go into the definition of bury. To be buried is to put or hide underground, completely covered, to disappear, move or put out of sight, conceal from oneself, overwhelm beyond hope of recovery, buried. But I think we can go back and be grave diggers and pull out those dreams, those aspirations, those choices, that joy, that health, that values that we had. We have the ability to bring those things back into our lives. That is how you create this new experience. You have to be proactive in creating a new routine for you and for yourself. This is a lot, but I think that we can all do it and we can all heal from this. Because see, the thing too about drowning is what happens when there's too much water inside of your lungs. It's so much water inside of your lungs that the body begins to panic. And literally the trachea muscles begin to close up. And as a result of your trachea, which is located in your throat, when that begins to close up, it is literally making it impossible for any individual to make any audible sound out of their mouth. Drowning. So sometimes with our grief, we could be so consumed with it in our heart that it travels from our heart into our throat and we can't speak. We can't speak about how we're feeling. We can't speak about what the experience did to us. And as a result of us not being able to speak, we drown. We drown deeper into depression. We drown deeper into suicidal thoughts, right? We go back to those mental health issues. But there's a way to bring it back. And so once again, this last activity, I just want each individual, you can put this in the comment section or you can write this down for later. And it's a fill in the blank. And it goes like this. When blank transitioned, I lost blank. When blank transitioned, I lost blank. And if you haven't had a death that was meaningful to you, that's okay, because you can finish this statement. When I lost blank, I also lost blank. When I lost blank, I also lost blank. So going back, it's like when my brother transitioned, I lost my dream of that niece and uncle, right? That kind of like my brother being an uncle. I lost that experience of my brother being able to be the uncle to my children, right? Or I can say to the second statement, when I lost my first business, I also lost my my drive. When I lost my first business, I also lost my drive. And I had to create a new experience for myself of what that would look like, to dream again of how else I can create a different experience of what I thought I lost and creating something else. I just want everyone to just be mindful and be safe during this time. If you have any questions, if you want to talk, if you want individual sessions, if you want group sessions, want me to come do a presentation, please contact us at info@wisdomcrossing.com. And wisdom is spelled WIZDEM. wisdomcrossing.com. And so I look forward to seeing each and every one of you again. If this was helpful for you, please give me those thumbs up. Please subscribe to more videos, and please like and share with other individuals. And then I will see each other until we meet again. Be safe, and I'll see everyone later.